Welcome to another episode of Cocktails with Cousins. I'm Erica.
I'm Jay.
I'm KD.
I'm Raina.
And we are here to talk about season 14. I know we're 3 episodes behind, but look, these people boring and we have nothing to say about them before the 3rd episode. So anywho, before we get started, go ahead and make sure you hit that like button because you're gonna like what you hear, and that's why you're here and you waited 3 episodes for us because we know you like us. Anywho, and make sure that you share us and make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Well, let's jump right on in with Mark the Shark and Lindsay. What are y'all feeling? How y'all feeling about them?
I like Lindsay's spirit.
She got a whole bunch of it.
Very is a lot. She is a lot.
She is.
A lot. Yeah.
I thought they were hilarious, like jumping straight to their wedding. I thought they were hilarious at the wedding. It was like they were sitting up there having a conversation. Like he, in his vows, he was saying like, I went here and I went here. I don't remember the places that he went to look for his wife. And she was like, yo, you was in the wrong place. I don't go to any of those. So I thought that was absolutely hilarious, but she is a whole bunch to handle.
Well, he said it too. He said, I don't know if I can handle my new wife. I'm like, ooh, maybe not. I mean, do you think she had one too many drinks before the actual ceremony though?
Oh yeah, she had a good old time.
In the after show, I think she actually mentioned, somebody asked like, did you have too many drinks? And they kind of did the flashback because she was the one that put her bra, like the dress down and everything like that too. Yeah. So yeah, she was definitely very talkative, and I remember that. And I was just like, and he was very thrown off because he was just like, my wife is a lot. But he also said that he felt like maybe because he's kind of low key and her being really high energetic in her spirit or personality, that it will work out for them. But I don't know. Then the cat issue, I was like, huh.
But I mean, how
is
she gonna get mad at him for having 3 cats? And
she
has 2.
But you know the other thing she said, I'll get rid of my cats. I'm like, what? Like, people don't say that about their animals and their kids, you know? So I was very shocked when she was like, I'll just get rid of mine. I'm just like, what? And then it could be that she just got him or something like that, or she hasn't grown attached to him or something. But I thought that was odd. And the other thing that she said that I was like, hold on, sis. She said, she said something like, where's your mom or something? And he said his mom had passed away. She was like, oh, well, she's here in spirit. And I was like, the way she said it was like, I was like, that didn't seem like she meant
that was his dad. It was his dad.
Yeah, it was his dad. It was his dad. Okay, I couldn't remember who, but she just
was like, hold on, wait, his mom died?
It was sorry, I'm not trying to kill
you're good.
But I thought it was his mom. But either way, she was so nonchalant, like, oh, they're here in spirit, you know, and I thought that was different. That's what I was saying. But
yeah. Well, maybe back to the cats. I think that maybe she was like, I'll get rid of mine because based on what she said, isn't she allergic?
That's how I think she was allergic. Because why do you have to cats if you're allergic?
I don't know.
But did y'all catch her though? She said, what did she say about she said she would get rid of her 2 cats, but then later in front of the camera, she said something about, well, his cats are old, so they're about to basically die soon anyway. I'm like, oh. The other thing about her is that even in the after show, she was like, I mean, all over the place. Like, and then the other 2 girls couldn't even say much. And I mean, she was, I feel like she crossed over the host. Like, she couldn't even talk. And I was just like, she answered every question. She didn't let anybody else answer a question and stuff. I was like, okay, sis, like, she's a lot. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Well, apparently she talked too much anyway, because at the bridal bachelorette party, she rubbed Alyssa the wrong way. So apparently she talks too much.
Because that's the one she said she went to her page or something and they had blocked her, right?
Yeah, blocked her.
Like, and then she was like, everybody else. And then she was like, well, she wasn't there. I did think that was odd, though, that she was over to the side, though. But, I mean, they had just met, so, you know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm glad Jasmina cleared the air, though, and said how she was like, no, my 2 friends were there, and they heard you talking about her. So,
yeah.
like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Like, is it an issue amongst the girls later on because of what it like the conversations that they had or things that happened throughout the season? Because I thought that was a little shady. Not shady, but the way she said it, she was like, "Girl, you know exactly why I ain't talking to you.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
you talk too much." I thought somebody was going to say something. I thought it was interesting that I could see them having similar like things that they've gone through, because she has a difficult relationship with her mom, and then his mom is battled with, I don't want to say this and it's wrong, but it sounds like she had battled with like drug addiction and being able to take care of herself. Did you guys get that, or am I thinking that up?
I got the same vibe because wasn't she like in rehab or something?
Yeah, or something.
Yeah,
I
but
couldn't
she
remember.
from what it sounded out like, she was in rehab for her bad choices that she made in life. She couldn't he said she couldn't walk, and he didn't want her to be embarrassed. So
Yeah.
I think she's in rehab for physical something.
Yeah. I just remember him saying that he didn't want to like pressure her to be there, but he called her first. But his little story was so sad. He was talking about like, I spent Christmas and Thanksgiving all alone. I was like, dang, bro, are you because you want a wife, or you just don't want to be alone? Like, he sounded very, very lonely.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because that can either do one or two things where it works for the relationship. Because some people, they go through that and they're like, I'll never be that way, and so it helps the relationship. But if he hasn't healed and grown from all those previous experiences, then it will definitely spill over into their marriage. And so we'll keep an eye out on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not the quietest either. I mean, his nickname is Shark.
Mark the Shark. I actually thought he was high energy until I saw her, and I was like, okay, so that's high energy.
It was like,
But
no,
you know what? You might just be, when you first meet somebody, you just kind of, you're low key. Like, I'm a high energetic person, but when I'm around, I'm new, I'm just going to watch you, see what's up. And then, the layers are unpeeled. And the next thing you know, I'm like, eh. So I just wonder if that's what he's doing. He's just not as forthcoming as she is, initially. And that we'll see his bubbly personality and why they match them as they continue to grow and his personality develops over each episode. So we'll see.
Possibly. I like that he when he had that conversation with her dad and her brother, and he really wanted to contact you before we even got married to ask your permission or whatever. Like, I thought that was genuine. The dad and the brother seem to be genuine, in their receiving him or whatever. So hopefully, that'll pan out to be a good relationship, because he is our only child. And so now he has this high energy wife and her dad and her brother. So hopefully it'll be something good for him.
But the other thing,
go ahead.
The other thing about her being having a high energy or big personality, it could calm down. It could have been nerves. It could have been, okay, this is the first time we've really been on camera, first episode. And then that's when I say the alcohol. So, everybody is bigger than who they are with a couple shots. And so it could be that but I don't know, because even on the after thing, she was still, I don't know, I take that back, because she was still all over the place even then. So
she was sprawled out
on that bench.
She was sprawled out on that bench. And I was like, what is she doing?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
And then, when you're nervous, you kind of talk, just about anything. But I feel like it was just, I don't know. And it was somebody else like that too. We don't wait, and I was like, oh, I don't know what's up. Like,
yeah, exactly. All right, prediction time, y'all. You know what we do at the start of the season? We make predictions on whether or not these people are gonna make it. Let's take a drink. Who thinks that Mark and Lindsay will make it? If you think so, take a.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah,
I think they both want it very, very bad.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think despite their differences, because they both want to be married so bad, they're going to make it work. So even if, now I'm not saying it's going to be a forever marriage. What I'm saying is on decision day, I feel that both of them will say yes. And then maybe they'll be one of those couples that make it another year, 2 years, and then call it quits. But I think they want it so bad They're gonna
What
push.
makes you think they're gonna they like, I don't know. I see it.
Yeah.
Make it. Like
I'm just saying
because
worst
they want
case
it so
scenario.
bad.
I'm saying worst case scenario. Let's say, because sometimes once you get to live with somebody and stuff, so you're like, I know you ain't cut your toes. Oh, that's my husband. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, that's three drinks and a no. So we'll see what happens with them. Let's move right along to another high energy person. Katina and Olajuwon, or should we call him Isaac? I mean, what in the world?
Isaac too wild though. Let me tell you. At first I was like, oh my God, this may work or whatever. But the more we started seeing Mr. Olajuwon, I was like, I don't think it's gonna work. And I know we'll do predictions later, but I just think the personality, I think that he wants to do this commitment thing because he's been out there, but I'm very concerned. And then I saw saying mannerisms, and then I was like, okay, is it me or is it just, so I wasn't 100% sure. Sometimes when you struggle, you might be a playboy, but it's not because you're truly a playboy. It's because you're trying to project an image that's different from how you feel per se. So I just think that
I didn't see it that way, but I mean,
she's such a sweetheart.
I think but I feel like he thinks he's ready. He thinks he's ready, but he don't know what he signed up for. I think I mean, because you saw he got the expectations already. Talk about, well, she better know how to cook. She better know how to do this. She better be fine. I gotta be attracted to her. This and that. Like, listen, I don't. He thinks he's ready, but he has no idea what is in store for him.
Now, go ahead, Katie.
At first, I was on the same page as Raina and Jay, but then as the wedding played out, I was like, okay, I think that it may work out, but I don't know.
Bumpy train ride. So Raina, you listed all his things. Remember, he was at the cookout with his family and he was like, nope, deal breaker. She can't cook, deal breaker. He saw her come down the aisle. He was like, you can't cook. I mean, it's okay. I mean, we gonna learn together.
But I seen the different side of her with him at the wedding.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that she is scared.
You think so?
Yes.
It was interesting that she went, I'm not going to say she was scared, but I just thought that it was very interesting that she was like, I think super quiet at first. And then she was just like, oh, I like the way he does this and that. And I can see why they matched us and da, 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 da. Like, I don't know. I think she's going to be a part of the first night consummation club. So
I think they said that the after party, whatever it's called, they said that they would probably be the first. What I will say, he seems to be very fit. He seems to be family oriented, and that is really good as well. But I just don't think that he's ready. I think that she's a sweetheart and again, this is just first impressions. I think that she knows what she wants. But I did get a little concerned because she is previous partier and everything like that. But when I saw the bachelor party, I got really concerned because he was all over the place and he was like, oh, like, this is home for me. And if you were really not about that lifestyle anymore and that you were trying to turn a new leaf, I think that he would have calmed it down, even if that environment brought out Isaac, that he would have kind of brought it down because he understands in a few days I'm going to be married. My wife is going to see this. So he should have just piped it down just a little bit. But he was, 100% invested.
Why would he pipe it down? He said he wants somebody he can take to the strip club. That was his words.
I don't think he's trying to
himself. I don't think he's trying to have a partner.
I don't think she's that type. I don't see her. And again, I could be totally wrong because I know she kept saying she'll social butterfly and XYZ. But so we could just be getting this karma side now because it's just episode 1 and 2. And she could be down with it. You know, we a couple episodes in and sis like, yeah, we want to the strip club and enjoy it. Because some people like that. You just have to find someone who's down with what you're down with. It's some women that love to go to the strip club. I don't think I've never been to a strip club, but I'm not opposed to it. I would love to go. But you would just have to find somebody who is okay with that and that you go often and that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I feel like they actually met each other's match with that whole, you know, in this, not this past life, but like they were both in the same party scene, right?
Yeah.
So I think they both met their match, and I see why they put them together.
Mm-hmm.
My thing with my prediction, I don't think they're gonna make it because I feel like Olajuwon has in his mind what a marriage is supposed to be or supposed to be like. And if it doesn't fit that picture in his mind, then all of a sudden, like, you know, it's a deal breaker for him.
But Raina, where we going now? Let's go back 1 season. And we had this same prediction about Jose. Got a list of all the things that, you know, Rachel had to be this. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, when she didn't meet those expectations. So again, I feel like we're going to see the same pattern happen here, that you have these expectations, and that I know that we all go into, I feel like I went into my marriage the same way. You have these expectations, but when you get in there, honey, reality hits, and it's all about adjusting and compromising. And when people tell you that, oh, you know, what's the first thing? You know, it is about adjusting. It's about compromising and communication, and that's real.
So, like Erica said, when she walked down the aisle, the whole expectations went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he's going to try, because he said in his package that his mom and his dad were never married, and that he wants his kids to grow up in a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
Okay. No. But okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was gonna say, to that point, no, you were so right. When he saw her walk down that aisle, it's like it didn't even matter anymore. But that's just him looking at her. Once they live together, that's when you start bumping heads, because you start seeing, okay, I gotta live with this person, and they do this and they do that, and I don't like this and I don't like that. He's high energy himself, right?
Well,
he can't contain himself. He cannot contain himself in his thoughts. It's going to come all out, and I don't think she's going to deal with it well, because like even on the wedding day, she was very quiet and awkward, and I'm like, why is she being like this?
Because she said that she when she was talking to her bridesmaids, she said that she was not having sex on the first night.
No, them ending credits say something different.
No, they
well, we also saw. Can we go back in a season, and we had that same Mirla, oh, we not finna do that, and then we come to find out they was doing stuff earlier than they posed on there, as well as who is the other? Was it Johnny? Johnny and them did the same thing. They didn't want it out there.
So.
They was. Yeah, so what we have done,
didn't have sex on the first night, and Johnny
they did. And what I'm saying is that when they actually went forward with that, they didn't put it out there at first. They made us still feel like they weren't, you know, on that level. And my whole point is that all these couples, they understand that they are putting themselves out there to the whole, you know, United States of America, or whatever it's filmed at, you know, or shown at. And so they're trying to put in this good, you know, their best foot forward. They're trying to present their, you know, like people say, their representative. And so a lot of times if they are smashing, we heard it on last season, how people like, oh, well, we said we weren't going to discuss that. We said we weren't going to do that. They make alliances behind the scene of what they're going to portray, what they're going to say. Hey, my family ain't going to deal with that well, so we ain't even going to talk about it. But it doesn't change the fact that it's going on. So what I'm saying is they're going to only present what we see, you know, or what they want us to see.
Their representative is going to show up.
Yeah, so smashed the first time. I would love to poll everybody, and they had to tell the truth of who smashed on the first day. You ain't been with nobody. You ain't there. Come on. And then my favorite thing, I'm like, that's my husband. I know I just met him, but just to say it's your husband, that smooths it on out for most. So
well, I see him,
one night stand to me.
I see Olajuwon, so I see a little bit of Woody in him. And I say Woody only because Woody was a playboy. Everybody was like, Woody, you're not ready for this. And he proved them all the way wrong. But them previews had a little Jose, because he started to go off on her about something in her phone. And I was like, hold on now. There you go, about to mess up something. Because he was like, what is that doing in there? I don't know if you guys saw that part, but he was like, what is that doing in there? So he went off. So I see him being like a combination of the two. Now, as far as them making it the long haul, I don't know. But I definitely think that he changed his tune when he saw her come down there, because you hear him talking to his boys. Man, she is fine. She got a small waist and whatever else he said.
She's definitely pretty.
She's definitely
But
pretty.
like he was excited.
They're cute together. I'll say that.
Say that again. Oh yeah, they are.
I just really don't know. Like I said, they look good though. Like they photograph well. Like I was like, okay. And I also was like, they have pretty babies, because they're both attractive. I just don't know if it's gonna work. And if he brings that, who's in your phone type thing, you really can't come into this non-traditional way.
They married, so he can question her about who's in her phone.
Well, that's why I said non-traditional, because traditionally you would have dated someone. It was a time where you didn't just meet them at the altar. And so the commitment and that discussion of, what's expected and what's not expected or accepted in a relationship is already discussed previously. But now we are doing a non-traditional way of marriage, which means you just met them. So maybe they didn't tell they hoe that that's the person they smash. What they call them now, your sneak link, whatever. You ain't tell them that, I'm on this show, and they creep up and call you. So I just feel like,
but he can still question her about it.
It depends on the manner in which he does that. Get what I'm saying? Because he
questioned her in a Jose type way.
And see, that's unacceptable because I just met you, bro, like a couple weeks ago. I don't know you like that. We'll get to there, and I don't think it's wrong with anything if he wants to say something, because that will be a part of setting the expectation for the relationship. So he can say, look, I don't really like other dudes texting you, or he can say, well, I'm okay as long as y'all ain't fucked before. It can be whatever, but that could be the opportunity where that is discussed and everybody understand moving forward. We either okay with people calling, texting, or we ain't, whatever the rules are. But he has to give her that way. You know what I'm saying? He has to give her that opportunity.
But did you see how he was talking to her mama, and he was talking to her for so long that she got up and left?
No, I missed that.
That was funny.
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
I know he was going on and on and on and on to her mama.
And then
he called her the wrong name to her mama.
Hold on, he called her Katrina, but she mispronounced his name too, though. But in front of her mom,
he will be old.
Anywho, look. So are they making it or no? No, I don't think they're making it either. Ain't no purpose to me.
Well, everybody say no. I'm gonna say yeah, just because.
Go ahead on, say yeah. Be the odd man out in the one room. It's all good. We understand.
I'm gonna turn my cup around. I'll put it in the dishwasher. But anyway, go ahead.
He's gonna say no on decision day.
Yeah, I think that I don't think they're gonna make it, because if he's popping off on her like Jose popped off on Rachel last year, she's not gonna come back and say yes.
But you also got to remember, look what happened with Rachel and Jose. So far we don't know.
Oh no, they divorced. Yeah, ain't nobody make it last season.
Right.
None.
Well, you know what? Be honest with you. I don't know. That whole season as it unfolded and stuff got
train wreck.
Yeah.
A whole train wreck. Anywho, let's move back to this season. Let's talk about Steve No Job and Joy. What is there
to talk about? He has no job.
No
job. Into a marriage.
No job.
No, but
okay. So I was a little skeptical about this marriage when I found out he had no job. But then when I thought about it, and I said, he has to have some form of income saving up, because ain't no way you can travel for 4 months and then go back to a house that's still paid for, rent.
Yeah.
So technically, he doesn't have a 9 to 5, but he did say he's a freelancer, so he can make money. He can choose to work when he wants to work. Freelance job. So it's not a 9 to 5, but he has a source of income, you know.
Yeah.
So
I thought the same thing though. I mean, the no job thing is still interesting to me. I don't know why the experts thought that would be okay, but I'm agreeing with you guys. Like you said, Katie, there's no way that you can travel for 4 months on your good looks. Like, you have to have gas money. Like, oils has to be changed if you're traveling all the way down to Florida from Boston, like things like that. So I agree. Like, he has to have some money put to the side. And Noi didn't seem to be concerned. She said, he seems like he'll figure it out.
Well, you know, the other thing that my sister mentioned to me, she was like, well, maybe the experts brought in this couple in this way because it is a potential situation when you get married that you guys could both come in making whatever amount and then someone loses their job, and to kind of throw something in there to twist it so you can have a more realistic view of how someone would respond in this non-traditional relationship versus how people typically respond if that was to happen in a more traditional wedding thing. So I thought that was interesting. I said, well, maybe that, you know, because things happen in a marriage, and one of those things that happens sometimes is that one of the partners will lose their main source of income. So maybe we'll see, and I don't know. And then you never know, he might, like, if he freelance and stuff, maybe he can bring in the money, at least to keep, you know, the everything flowing, maybe not saving and not doing anything extra, but just enough to take care of what he needs to, and then she can kind of back him up financially. But we'll see.
I feel like it may have just been like the bad timing. I mean, pandemic did happen, so I understand. It's understandable. It's not like he just chose to not work and he just, you know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things too, like, that may have been single Steve going into this. Now that he's married, he knows he's gonna have to have a good source of income to have and establish a family. So as long as to me, it depends on where his mindset is at, as far as like, okay, now that I have a family, now that I'm married, and if we're looking to have children in the future, like, I got to be able to support my family. And as long as he has that mentality, I feel like they should be fine. So
yeah. Well, it was interesting because he said he's not the first person in his family to get married, get in an arranged marriage. So he already has some type of frame of reference of how it works and, you know, what to do to make it work. So I agree. I do believe that he's going to be on the up and up. And I'm like, no way. He seems like he's a pretty smart guy. He's going to figure it out. What
does she do? I can't remember. What does she
I don't know what she does. I don't know what none of them do. They've been so good. I ain't even been trying to keep track.
we haven't peeled back the layers quite yet. We'll get there.
What did y'all think about his family when they sat down together to talk about him being in an arranged marriage? The cousin was funny to me. She was like, I think whoever this girl is, I think she would want you to have a job. Like, I thought that was the part of the whole deal.
What are you gonna say when she asks you what you do for a living?
Well, he came right out with it. When they got married, he didn't shy away from it. He did much better with explaining it to her than he did to his family. Because when he was talking to his family about what he was gonna say, my husband even stopped and was like, "Ooh, buddy, you tore that up." He was stuttering and everything, but he got it together, and she was fine with it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the rest of his family, or, you know, her noisy alter ego?
I mean,
go ahead.
All she said to describe it is that she wears wigs.
Well, she danced.
Okay. But I think it was in the after show that she said her brother is a drag queen. Yeah. And he gave her that wig to wear. Yeah. Because he wears wigs.
This is true. And you know what? Both of them seem to be risk takers. Okay, so he up and went down to Florida, right? But she was like, didn't she say she went to like Europe with a man one time?
Europe and Mexico.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess she like, oh, you went on an event. Okay,
she said she's a hopeless romantic. So for love, she'll cross seas. So I was like, okay, Noi.
Yeah. She even said, because she had moved from the West Coast to Boston. Like that's how she even got in there, like trying to find love. I don't know. She was very interesting to me. I mean, both of them to me were very interesting. I don't know. I mean, as far as them and their long term, I mean, I think, I don't know. From what I see, it seems like it could work. I don't know what y'all think.
Yeah.
I feel like the chemistry was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give them a thumbs up.
I say yes.
Yeah, I thought they were, of all the couples on wedding day, they had the most flow, so to say. Like they seemed like they kind of like knew. I thought it was super cute that, you know, she got his little, what was it called? I don't think they called it anything, but they, you know, they're matching colors or whatever, and she got his little thing all pinned up. I think they're
that's right. They were celebrating her Laotian heritage.
Yeah.
So they did the ceremonial. Yep.
Yeah. I thought it was nice. All right, anything else about them? I kind of prematurely asked what the prediction was. I think we said they're gonna make it. Is that four sips to that?
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to somebody who is questionable of whether or not they're gonna make it. Jasmina and Michael. I don't know. What do y'all think about them?
I can see why she was labeled a Miss No Nonsense, because let me tell you, on the after show, when Lindsay was acting like, oh, she didn't know why Alyssa blocked her, she was like, look, don't play like you don't know why she blocked you.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
Yeah, she don't play.
Exactly.
Well, what I will say is she is beautiful, and she does remind me of Naomi Campbell type. Like that could be her daughter, you know, because she's a little daughter, cousin, or something. And she has she's a teacher, right? I remember, right? She was a teacher.
I was going to ask that question.
Yeah, I think she was. Yes, I'm positive she was a teacher.
Yeah,
and I think that she has that gentle teacher, patience, calmness, don't flip out on people, kids, that type of thing about her. That is a gift that for good teachers. Like you have to have those characteristics to be a good teacher. So I like how she is very quiet and kind of, you know, to herself as it relates to her mannerisms and stuff like that. But she's strong in her presence. She doesn't have to say much, but I feel like she's strong in her presence. Like I knew she was there, you know, even on the after show when the other girl just going off, whatever, you could still see and feel her presence on the screen. And that, I think that just says about like who she is as a person. And I think they're going to work. FYI.
I love Jasmina, y'all, because I identify as Jasmina myself. I love Korean dramas. I love watching Netflix and all the Marvel shows. I was like, hey, she could be my friend. Like
it was so funny because when she thought he didn't like Marvel, she was like, you don't like Marvel?
And at the altar, she said her parents said something, and then he was like, I know what that is or whatever. And she was like, no, you don't. And I thought that was cute. I forgot what it was. You know what I'm talking about? And I thought that was cute.
Boy band. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
she
cute.
can get him to watch Marvel. That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
And all those shows that he didn't watch, she can get him to watch anything.
Yeah. Their stories are so super similar with all of the loss and change in their life. Like he lost his mom, his brother, his grandma, like he lost a lot of people.
Yep.
I felt like when she said that her dad, okay, so her mom left. Okay, we got her dad got remarried and then they got a divorce and he was like, but I'm going back to Jamaica. I was like, and
her stepmom kept her and her sister.
Exactly.
No, she asked her stepmom to adopt her and her sister.
I know, but as a dad, like as a mom, I ain't leaving my kids.
Right.
She ain't about to adopt you. You better come on and get on this plane.
Right.
Bad.
Right. She stepped up and kept them. So I was like, wow, like kudos to her.
You know, the other thing about their family dynamics that is concerning, or like my mom said, a red flag, is that the sisters. So he's the youngest, and I said, oh, because I know I'm the youngest girl. I'm like, I already know what that, everybody think they're your mama. And then so I was like, oh, that's going to be an issue because he hasn't been able to make decisions on his own as a man. So I feel like it's either going to be your sisters is running the relationship and your wife got to sit back, or that your wife stays in. Now she's making all the decisions. It's just like, so I didn't like that. And then I was 100% concerned about the sisters because I have sisters. I already know what, I hope that they are accepting like they seem to be, but I understand that when the moment he opened up his mouth and say, I cannot do this because my wife wants me to do that, all hell gonna break loose.
But they said they would be open to it.
They said they gonna be open.
But because she said it, it's like she already knows it's coming, and so they're prepared mentally. Like, okay, he's gonna be his own man now, and he's gonna have a wife now. So
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, it's not gonna happen. So
go ahead. I was gonna say I saw it opposite. I saw it that I was worried about him because everybody in his life was like, okay, now you're getting married. I'm gonna need you to communicate. Like they were all trying to give him advice on what he needed to do in order to make the relationship work. And I feel like they all want it for him and that they're going to help himself, but he just didn't. It was too many things that they kept on saying, like, okay, you can't, or you got to communicate. Like, that was my red flag. I was,
but again, why are they even talking to him like that? Because of the way it said, when you are the youngest, and then you got all these strong female influences, the wife is gonna have, and she doesn't seem to be, like in your face. So I just feel like it might be overwhelming and then I think they're Haitian, right?
They're Haitian, she's Jamaican, I think.
Yeah, and I just feel like I don't know. They have strong personalities. I mean, Jamaicans, I don't know. I feel like they have strong, bold, confident, personalities. And so I don't really know how this is gonna work. She might wild out, and we think, some people quiet, and then you light that fire, or you just touch the top of it. They ain't about that life. And then she on 48 hours.
And she also mentioned that she needs an emotionally available man.
And she said she felt like he was
not gonna. I feel like he's not gonna be emotionally available.
He's not
in those 8 weeks.
Too many people kept telling him that he had to communicate. Like his sister said it. Didn't his brother appear? I think his brother, his friend said it. Like he is going to be the type of person that is going to bottle it up. And he even said it. I find the smallest thing to ruin a relationship. And that's what he's going to be doing in this 8 weeks. I feel like that she could engage him in communication, but they both would have to be willing to go past the 8 weeks. And I don't know that they're going to make it past the 8 weeks because I don't know that he's going to communicate enough in the 8 weeks for her to be like, she can work with that.
Yeah. He's going to be communicating. He's going to say whatever his sister say. That's what he's going to do. I just don't, like I said, I don't.
Well, it's because he ain't got nothing to say for himself because he ain't communicating because that's what everybody keeps him to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I just feel like when you have 3 strong female personalities that is old, like you just automatically, I don't know, I just think that, and maybe he'll break through with this, like if he wants a relationship and marriage. I know they talked about children. And I thought that they would, I think they're on the same page with kids, like, procreating and all that. They're both on the same page with that. But I just feel if he doesn't check them, then they could possibly ruin a good thing. And I also think she'll work with them a little bit to a certain extent. I think she'll be patient and work with him. So maybe in this first 8 weeks, if he can at least give her a little bit of hope that he could be what she wants him to be or need him to be, then we might see them move forward.
I think Jasmine is going to be able to handle it. Like you said, she has, I think that she has what it takes to be able to say, like, look, sisters, you overstepping, without being disrespectful. I think he's going to be the problem. I don't know about the sisters.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
don't think necessarily the sisters are going to be an issue, but I do think she's going to have to teach him how to communicate with her. So I do think that.
Yeah.
But even then, I still say.
You say thumbs up. All right. Well, anybody got anything else to say, or let's all the rest of us make some predictions? What do we think? Thumbs up. I'm kind of in the middle. I want to
be in the middle.
I want the Black love to happen, but I don't know.
The word of God said you can't. The word of God said you can't waver. You need to make a decision. You either want to say yes or no.
She is not going to want to teach him how to openly communicate.
Yeah,
I think she's going to be impatient.
I think that, look, I think it's going to be a no for me too, KD. Like, I just don't see it. I want them to make it. I think it would be nice together. Like, even her sense of humor came out. He caught her jokes. He thought she was wild gorgeous, because you saw his face when she was walking down the aisle.
She is. And he
went up there and tapped him with a napkin.
He's just like a 6. He's more like a 6-ish, 5. And she and she definitely is close to 10. She's beautiful.
You ain't give me average, did you, KD?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna fare with KD, and I'm gonna say that is going to be an.
I'm
thumbs up, because I feel like out of anybody individually, out of all the couples, I feel like Jasmina is like the most ready for marriage. Period.
That's true. So I
feel like she's mature, and I feel like she's so ready for it. I think she's gonna make it work. So
maybe she have the patience. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind mid-season. Right now, it's just a no for me. But anywho, one that I probably won't waver on is this Alyssa and Chris. Because child, beginning there was a mess. She's a little diva.
A little?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Are we talking about 10 dresses?
10 dresses.
Yeah, we talking about 10 dresses.
10 dresses.
Mm-hmm. It was overwhelming watching her go through all those dresses, and I was just like, okay, sis, if you like this, make a decision about a dress, then what other parts of your life does this same type of behavior, roll over to? So I just don't. Yeah,
she reminds me shallow and too superficial.
Yeah,
and too selfish.
She reminds me of Virginia, because she is stuck in her ways. That, like, she wants what she wants. It has to be like her way. And remember, Virginia was like that. She was gonna hang out with her male friends. She was gonna sleep on their couches and all of that when they were getting married, and nothing was gonna change. And she was like gun-ho. And I see her being the same as that way. Maybe not about the same topics, but she is stuck in her ways.
With a little bit of Mirla about the dress.
I said Mirla.
A little.
That's who she gave me vibes. I was like, look, a little Mirla Jr.
Well, at least she coming out from the beginning saying what she like and don't like. And
well, no, Mirla was the same way too. Remember her initial interviews? That's what we got. Diva. There's a, I don't know. My thing is, why do you need 10 dresses? Are you so far, into? To me, that's extreme. So if you have 1 or 2 dresses, even 3, I can say, okay, we'll get that part. 10 dresses is extreme. That's extreme. What are you really here for?
Yeah, I feel like she's too shallow, too selfish, and too superficial. And I mean, I don't know her situation, her ex, but he never proposed to her, and I see why. But
yeah, I wrote down that she was uptight. Did you see her at the bachelorette party? She was like, I am not
Mirla. That's who she is, Mirla. Didn't want to participate, nothing.
Nothing. Like, wasn't engaged in that process in any way, shape, or form. And I am kind of shocked that she even stayed at the altar, because I thought when she came down the aisle that she was gonna see him and be like, but no, I'm done. Like, do. Like I just
Especially the moment he opened his mouth, I was like, yeah, he doesn't have perfect teeth. It's a wrap. That ain't gonna happen.
oh my God. You know what though? And this is me being a little bit of her. When he first started talking or whatever, I was like, bruh, like you could have got a whitening kit before you came on national television. Like something like what? That's horrible. I don't have like either, but if I knew I was gonna be on the camera, I'd be like, Dennis, do something, work with me. Like, I don't know. That was a side jab. What was I gonna say? Her friends though, they I don't know, because her friends were like, it seemed like they know her and they believe that she could possibly like make this work, but then they were like, oh, she's not going to be super affectionate, she's not going to want to talk, like she's not going to want to do this and she's not going to want to do that. And I'm like, is it something more about her that they're not like saying what it is? Like I don't know.
Isn't she an only child? Because she definitely has that only child vibe of like, because she's not aware, she's very selfish in the way, like she doesn't care about other people around her. So when she's stuck in her ways, like she is stuck in her ways, and well, that's just the way I am. So
yeah, that's
what
what
I get from her.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like she's either, I can't remember if she's an only child or not. She could possibly be the baby for sure, because she kind of is used to getting what she wants and when she wants it and how she wants it. And I don't know, what was it that he was saying that was so offensive that got to the ending that we had at the end of the episode? Like, what was it that?
No,
it was his friends that threw him.
It was his friends.
Yeah, it was what they were saying about him. So they're like, if he comes off kind of like demeaning, like he's trying to teach, his intentions are good because he's just trying to teach you. That's a teacher in him. That's what they kept saying about him. And gotcha. So, but she
took it the wrong way. Yeah, instead of getting to know him,
right?
And because she was looking for a way out, that she just took everything they said and ran with it.
Talking about, and she was like, I don't know how to respond to that. Like, I don't know how anybody would respond to somebody doing that to them. And I'm like, what is he doing to you? Like, there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, like, I mean, if he wants to try to be a know-it-all, you can just explain to him that he's not a know-it-all. He knows it all about what is it? Frisbee golf frisbee. Golf.
Some disc association with frisbee. Yes, I don't know. I don't know how to play, but
he's the vice president of production. I don't know what he said. I just know he said something. I was like, bro, really? I don't think you should brag. Like, that's not what you want to be like your shining moment.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Elijah once said that they call him the professor.
I know. It was funny though. But he seems like a nice guy. I don't agree with how she was treating him on the wedding night. Like, it's like, I don't want to go into the room with him. I'm like, even with him being what his friends tried to say bossy or a know-it-all, like
until you see it for yourself.
Yeah, like I mean,
you can't judge him.
It wasn't that big. That wasn't that big of a deal. Like she made it way more than it needed to.
Out of proportion. Yeah,
because she didn't. You also got to remember though, when they're at this stage, they're not invested. They're not invested. So, like I always say, like traditional, situations like this. At this point, you've been with the person. Some people, get married super quick, but longer than these individuals, you might have been with them 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, 3 years, whatever it was. But the point is that you have some type of investment in the relationship. So you're not just running because someone said, oh, that girl or that guy, whatever. So she's just not invested. So hopefully, I don't know, if she signed up for this, something attracted her to this type of, situation.
Yeah, that's what I have a problem. That's where I have the problem. Like if you're going to sign up for Married at First Sight, then you have to come in with an investment at least for the 8 weeks. Like I'm gonna see this through the 8 weeks. I know I have my out in the 8 weeks. Like you can't be in at 8 minutes and be like, but I'm ready to go. Like
but the other thing that I'm picking up is it's like I can't even remember Chris and Paige when I feel like they feel like they're going to find me the prettiest person or the most handsome person and this and that. And so they're really just trying to throw it out that they find somebody that's got a good job, that's got this, because they do all that digging for you. When you go on a first date, you have to do all that digging. You need to go and Google and Facebook and Instagram and all the other social platforms or whatever else is available to gather as much information about this individual as possible. And then the rest of it, you just go on it for what he's telling you. But this show gives you the opportunity to kind of cut all of that out. And then they do typically, get these people or this and the other. So I feel like, all of, oh, she's gorgeous or he's this or he's that. She's not invested. She just wanted to see what they could give her because what she was doing wasn't working. So again, and then the fact that they have an out, I feel like they should take that out. I know it would just mess up the show, but it should be you married and that's it. Like it's no, what is it called?
She kept saying, and what she wanted in a husband. She said he had to be super hot, super hot, super hot.
She said that 100 times.
If you are that picky, this show is not for you.
It's not for you.
It's not for you. Like, and if you can't find it, what they give someone else can find them for you. Because like especially like looks or appearance and attractiveness, that is subjective.
Yeah.
He could be the finest person to somebody else, but you could think he's butt booty ass ugly. And Alyssa, exactly. I'm sorry to say, but like she's not the most attractive girl ever either. So I don't understand why she's like so picky. And but you kept hearing her say when she was like doing the dress, trying on her dresses and stuff, saying, well, I just hope he thinks I'm like so beautiful. And it's like, I mean, I know everybody hopes that. That's what makes me think she's so superficial and shallow because she's only about looks. So, but I don't understand how you say all that, but then what you do is you rescue dogs.
Yeah, so, I was just about to say that.
It really contradicts the personality.
Again, y'all, do you not see the similarities with Marla? She was the same way, but I think that you have to, I think that's one thing that made their relationship, Marla and Gil's relationship, resolve because she came in there and I think that was one that, I don't kiss, I don't that. I think it's the same thing. You trying to see like, what can these people do? And then you get in there, that you got to kind of play through the 8 weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if she was the same way. I'm not going to do this. And I'm not just to get through the 8 weeks to say no, so I think that it's a game. It wasn't what she wanted. And when it's initially not what I think that she's going to shut down, but like I said, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So anything else about them? Because I think we can just go ahead on and say no.
You know what? I'm gonna predict no, and the only reason I'm gonna predict no is because
she ain't ready.
Yeah, and Marilyn them ain't make it, so like no.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and say that is no sips for them because they're not gonna make it. I don't even think they're gonna make it past the honeymoon because that whole honeymoon in the previews, that scene was like, I don't know, like she was.
Yeah, and then
I'm not gonna sit on camera and do this.
Yeah, and then what was he saying? I think you're lying about what?
Well, she's the one who posed the question. She's like, so what you're saying is I'm lying?
Yeah.
You think I'm lying?
He said that to the effect that she wasn't trying. And she said she was, and she was like, and whatever.
Is it?
Go ahead.
She's not, but when you get caught out, that's her cop out so that she doesn't have to continue to argue with him and try to prove points. That's her way of, well, I'm not arguing with you because you just called me a liar. So she tried to flip the script on him, right? So
exactly.
I don't like her.
I really don't think they're gonna make it. And unfortunately, like I said, I don't like that. One good thing about this show is that it gives you a chance, if anything, to learn about yourself as an individual in a stress kind of environment, because I'm pretty sure it's cameras and lights everywhere. You have to, so and learning. But I just don't think that if they come in with that type of attitude, that it'll work. You really have to come eyes shut and heart wide open. Right. And you have to be open to the experience, and that you would think one who would sign up for this type of experience would be ready. But what we're seeing in the previous episodes or seasons is that it's quite the opposite. You got kind of straight down the middle. Half come in heart wide open. They're open to the experience, and then they get what they put out for the experience. And then you have the other group of people where, Chris, I cannot stand.
It's their intentions.
Yeah,
some of them have
like,
wrong intentions.
Chris is the worst out of all the seasons for me. Chris is the worst.
Look, I don't know. I think I don't know.
Mirla took the cake for me as
I
well.
was about to say, last season there was people on there that I feel like they were definitely right beside him. Okay, before we finish,
but at least Mirla didn't like screw him at first line. So when you start laying down with somebody, you get confused as women. You get confused. So I feel like at least she marked that part out. But it's gonna be they tied neck and neck. They tied.
Yeah, I don't know. Look,
I don't like Chris.
College. Okay, before we end, so let's say that you guys were not married and you were going on this show. What would be your way of handling, like, if the person wasn't attractive to you? Like, how would you go into the experiment? How do you think you would go into the experiment?
Who going first? You go first, then, Eric.
Okay, I'll go first. So if I was going in and I didn't get what I thought or what I would want to have gotten, I still would ride it out for the 8 weeks, because at the end of the day, yes, I can get a divorce and that's not that big of a deal. And really and truthfully, the people that come on this show don't care about having a divorce because they be ready to go out on the first whim or whatever. So I think that I would try to take the Amani approach to it and just kind of see how it flows. And then as we interact, that would kind of determine whether or not, that would kind of determine whether or not I would want to continue on, because I feel like looks are superficial. So, and they're all gonna fade one day. So that's that or whatever. But can I make a connection with this person with what I would think? Now, mind that I am married to my high school sweetheart, so I really, really don't even because I never had.
Okay, I go next.
But go ahead.
Tell him I said, "What's up?"
Okay.
Shout out.
So I would take the Jamie Otis approach, and if I didn't like what I seen at the altar, I would break down and cry. Have all my bridesmaids console me, and I would give it a try.
Okay.
And now I will be married for up 10 years later.
All right, who's next?
I'll go. Me personally, I mean, don't get me wrong, my husband is fine, but to me, looks was never the top of my list to begin with. So it would be the same approach regardless. I feel like as long as they have the personality and their willingness to try, I feel like as long as two parties are willing to both try, then you're gonna make it. So, I mean, if he has the right intentions and I have the right intentions, then it should work.
This is
true.
All right, what's your approach?
I say for me, if it was younger Jay, 20 to 30, I'm popping. So I would probably be like, oh no, I can't do this. But as I matured and learned, first of all, that I wasn't perfect and so popping, and then you get to a point where you just mentally change. Well, normally you mentally change. So it depends on if I'm younger Jay or older Jay. But older Jay, which was when I got married, all that superficial things, they're secondary to me. When I was approached from, but when I really was thinking like, okay, let me see what's up with this. It was more like, what is long lasting? What are the things that you cannot teach an individual that only grows better and is consistent or better as they age? And so those things were like loyalty. You can't buy loyalty. You can't teach loyalty. You can't teach compassion. You can't teach love, all those things. So initially I would kind of just like, yeah, he look a little fucked up. But I would go through the 8 weeks, and through that 8 weeks, my goal would be to see what's up with this dude, because I need to know, is there something long lasting inside of you that surpasses your fucked up face? So I would just need had to say it, y'all. Because I want to, anyway, sorry. I've been.
Get her cup. It is definitely full of
I've been
something
out of the
she
show and I just feel, but really, it would have to go past the physical, is what I'm saying, is that I can overlook that because what you're bringing to the table is more than a face, because you can have the opposite. You have all these beautiful people, and because they're beautiful according to society, because I feel like we all are beautiful in our own way, you know, then they think they don't have to do this and I don't do this and everybody's supposed to balance. So that comes with a whole nother thing if you got somebody that's a level 10 supermodel type stuff. So I just feel like I would stay to see if there's substance that's long lasting. And then if it is, I would stay and try to work it out, because even if we worked 4 years and then we broke up, it was 4 years and I tried.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like we're judging these people somewhat by watching the reviewing.
When you're on TV, you're putting yourself out there to be judged.
But look, we can put ourselves out there a little bit too, right?
They gonna judge us. They gonna be talking junk about us. Like, well, you got that hat on because her hair fucked up, you know. So my hair fucked up.
Yeah. Well, until next time, because they didn't show enough previews for us to talk about them anymore. But until next time, we'll see what's going on. What is it that they are? Breakfast with the families before the honeymoon? Did they say when they were honeymoon?
No.
Mexico.
I
feel like somebody mentioned Mexico. Oh, are they going to? I thought somebody mentioned it. Like, I bet.
Yeah, Jasmine said she was hoping that they didn't go to Mexico. That's what she wanted to go for her 30th.
No, she said Jamaica.
No, Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Because Mexico was open during the whole pandemic.
Yeah,
so
they was like, "Come on, we want your money."
Makes sense. That and what's the other one? Puerto Rico. That's what we went to.
Yeah,
they're open too.
Well, before you get off, go ahead and make sure you hit the like button, because we know that you like what you saw. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and then share our content with other people. Until next time, bye.
Bye.